Scruff is back. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Azoh, and today it is Friday, which means it's story time, random video topic, or random game. But today it's gonna be story time. We're gonna talk about the one time I almost died because of pizza toppings and ice cream. And no, it's not because I almost choked on it. Don't take that out of context. But I want to give you guys some backstory first. So, I take you back to the year 2014, I think. Yes, 2014. And I was working a summer job at my mom's workplace, which is basically a food research institute, essentially. It's a bit hard to explain, but it's like a different kinds of companies and people come together and work there. Essentially, I was working in the. It's not extremely relevant, but I was working in the at the desk, at the front desk. So basically, I was greeting people, I was signing packages, I was delivering mail, I was sorting stuff, I was checking emails, I was making sure if someone was calling, I would redirect them to the person that they wanted to call to because they called to the desk first. It was a really cool job. It was summer, so most people weren't even working, and I could go to work in basically shorts and just a shirt. So it was cool. It was cool. It was a lot of free time, but I still had some responsibilities I had to do. So I had to get there before other people because I had to open up a gate where people who are traveling to the job to deliver stuff, like trucks filled with whatever they wanted to deliver, had to go through a certain gate, which I had the key to, or at least that was my responsibility to open the gate. So I had to get there early, which, you might not know, but I'm not too good at getting up early. I sleep to 13:30 normally, which is why the schedule thing, starting streaming at 1. I am trying my best here. So basically, I work there, and I think this is like halfway through the summer. So I'm getting into the things. I'm used to what I'm doing. Mainly, it's just like I said, sorting things and meeting people and greeting people, and getting to know the people who work there at summer. It was a good job. I really did enjoy it, and I really did enjoy it, and would like to work there again if I can. But we're getting closer to my near-death experience, and I'm not actually bullshitting you or anything. This genuinely, in hindsight, with how many variables actually went the way they went, it's like a horror story. Believe me when I say this is genuine. This is true. So, one Friday. Also, I forgot to mention, I opened that gate. I also have to close that gate, so I had to stay kind of long. So one Friday, it was around 4:30, which is about the time when I normally close the gate. I was actually staying a bit extra because I got stuck on something on computer. It wasn't actually work. I brought my own computer, which was huge, and it's the same laptop I use now, it's kind of old, but it's this huge at the time, really state of the art, a pretty solid gaming laptop, which was heavy. So I carried that thing to work every time because there was a lot of dead time. Anyway, I was on my computer, I was fixing something, I was staying extra, and of course, no problem for staying extra, but I had to close the gates. So as I'm walking there, I get a call on my work phone, which is the cell phone where people obviously I can't use my own cell phone, so there's a cell phone for the front desk. So I answer, and now, as you might know, that I can speak both Swedish and, English, duh. I also can understand some German. If people don't speak too fast, I can get the basic concept of what they're saying. Because I did take some German classes, and I have a dad who speaks fluent German, and a part family who are German. So this guy calls me up on the phone, and he speaks German to me because he doesn't speak English. And I understand that when people call me on this phone and they're not speaking a standard language, I can kind of guess what they're meaning, because most of the time when people call me on the phone, it's because they wanted me to, the gate I mentioned at the start, there's someone, because there was also a guy, I did put two and two together, because as I was walking out, there was a big truck going through the gate. So when someone called right afterwards, I realized that this is probably the same guy. So I walked through the entire building to the backside, and I tell him in English because I have no fucking idea how I'd say that in German. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to sound very weird. So I made it on the backside, and there's like an elevated platform where I come out on, and he's already unloaded this huge cart, this huge like wagon filled with cans. Not exactly cans, more like buckets. Buckets is actually what I'm looking for. Filled with this huge buckets. Like 3-liter buckets. And more than that. Well, actually, more than 3 liters. Like 5 liters, even more. I can't... It's going to sound really strange because I can't actually... I measure exactly how much. But they were big buckets. It was this huge wagon filled with these big buckets. And I'm like... Alright. Hope I'm... Okay, yeah, okay, sure. I understand he's obviously most likely at the right place, because it was food. Or it wasn't food, it was like... It was, from the ones I saw, it was like pizza toppings? Kind of. And I know there was like a little bit of ice cream, there might have been some jam there as well. I didn't check every bucket, obviously, because I had to like pry it open. But some of them didn't really have a solid, like, what's it called? Solid, like... opener, like it was... I need to check this out. Fan säger man lock på engelska? No, inte låsa. No, not lock. Cap? Yeah, so not all of them had caps on them. But anyway, he starts speaking to me in German, and I can kind of deduce that he said something about... I think it was Kalt. I don't remember exactly if that's what he said, but basically, at the time, I could realize that, yes, these are freezing wares. And I was able to, like, Google Translate my way to understanding that you had to put them in the freezer. Not the fridge, freezer. So, or at least a very cold environment. I think it was a freezer. But, again, details, it was like 2.5 years ago. So, he's really happy, not happy, he's just dropping this off and like, he's off. And as I might have mentioned, this was past the time. I'm supposed to not be working right now. So I get this. So he leaves me with this wagon, and this thing is heavy. Like, again, I can't tell you exactly in weight, but it was obscenely heavy. Like, I consider myself not strong specifically, but I mean, I do sometimes work out. Sometimes. And this thing was incredibly heavy. So I have to pull it through the entire building to get to the freezer. I have to get to the elevator from where I can get to the freezer. And, like, I am exhausted when I get to the freezer. It was that heavy. And, I mean, it had wheels, obviously. But even just pulling it was just... Yeah. It was way too heavy. I don't know what they were thinking when they loaded up. But anyway, I get to the freezer, or to the freezer. I mix them up. And it's this, because they showed me at the start when they introduced me to the job, they showed me, okay, if they have like freezing wares, you have to put in here. And you have to do it quickly, obviously, because I don't know what the fuck's going to happen with these things if they're exposed to the heat for too long. Because he was carrying it, or he was transporting it in like this freezer environment, right? A very cold environment. So I take this thing, and I get to this narrow as fuck corridor. Now this thing, not only is it heavy, it's high. It's tall. Sorry, high. That's not the kind of toppings they were transporting. Sorry. It was very tall and very wide. So I'm like, this thing might not even fit through the fucking doorway of the... Because it was like narrow, right? And it was kind of... But it was kind of sloping downwards. So, like, you have the path here, and then it kind of sloped downwards a little bit, and then it kind of balanced out, right? So, the room, basically, I'll try to show it. So, the room went like, the corridor went like this, right? And then it curved inwards like that. And that was the room. Like, you get to this part, and then the room is like that. Like that, right? It's like you end at the long side of a rectangle. Yeah. So it's like the end part of the long side of a rectangle. And inside the freezer, there's like these shelves all along the wall, the other long side of the wall. So I'm like, okay. So this is where I'm fucking retarded, by the way. You can say what you want. I pulled this thing into the freezer, and as I went down the slope, I realized, as I got to the bottom part, I'm like, this thing isn't gonna fit. But I'm already past the door opening when I realized that. So I might have exaggerated the slope. Basically, it went like this, and then there's like this section that just goes straight downwards, and then it balances out. Not this huge like downward slope. There's this section. So I'm already past with the front wheels, and this thing is just narrowly going through the door opening. And I get stuck, right? And it's cold. It's a freezer. And as I said before, I go to work in shorts and a t-shirt. Because it was summer. It was very warm outside. I'm not wearing too much. There was no dress code. So I get stuck there. And my phone, my work phone, is left at the start, like at the, where I picked up the wagon. Because I don't remember why I left it. I think it was like a loading station or something. But I put it away anyway, because like I was talking to him, I was talking to him on the phone, and then I put it away when I got there, and like, oh shit, the cart, I gotta get it there quickly. Don't even think there was a loading station. I just, for some reason, it was left at the, like I said, this is like a horror story. In hindsight, all the key aspects. Because let's take a look at this then. Because I couldn't push it back up. Like I said, I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger or Stephen Amell or something. But it was too heavy. It was a slope upwards, and above all, I had no room to work with. Because basically, I was holding it like this, and to my back was the shelves. And it had already gone past the slope downwards. So what I had to do is, from this position, try to push something obscenely heavy up a slope. It was not happening. And, I pushed a few times, and then, the panic sets in, like, wait, not only am I stuck in a freezer, I have no phone, I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, it's Friday, and I'm the last person here. So, I'm like, wait, okay, because it was already getting really cold. Because I thought I could just, like, drive this thing in or get out and, like, oh, that was cold. Well, it's warm outside, right? No. I'm stuck in there, and so the first thing you might say, well, why didn't you just unload the cart? Like, take the buckets out of the cart so it got lighter. Well, from the side that was inside, it was sealed off. It was, like, walled off with metal. Like, some kind of metal where I could almost reach the first bucket, but the thing is, these things were heavy too. So if I like stuck part of my hand outside the door to lift the bucket up, I couldn't lift it with my wrist. And even then, you realize I'd have to like lift it with my wrist, and then it wouldn't even fit through the door anyway. Oh god, the horrible memories. So I'm stuck here, and I just try again, but I can't get any like power, because I'm stuck in this position trying to push. You have no power from here, like you don't have any movement to like momentum to like get it up to speed so you can kind of hit the slope and try to get it up. There's no way. So I'm stuck in this freezer for like 5 minutes, or even more. I like I said, life was flashing before my eyes. I don't even remember how long I was in there. So eventually, I look around, like I was doing this Batman James Bond thing, like look around what I have to work with in my surroundings to get out of this fucking Dr. Evil death trap. And I realized that there were other like of all the ways to die: pizza toppings and ice cream and jam. So I look, I look around at my surroundings, right? I was like, wait, can I use something to like some grease or something in the, like, that would have been a great story, by the way, if I used like grease on the walls or something to get. Not as clever as, I was not that clever, or maybe that wouldn't have been clever, but not that good of a story. What I do realize is that the shelves are detachable. So with a little bit of screwing and such, or not screwing, but like, not, yeah, you had to like, well, I guess screwing, but not with like a drill or anything. You just had to like work a little bit, not with a chisel or anything, but I got them loose. And then I was able to take a step back, and with all the might I had, at the fear of death, I push the cart and get it over the slope, and I get out. Oh god, that was horrifying. And I mean, I'm still kind of, I'm both like relieved that I escaped the fucking James Bond death trap. No, Mr. Azoh, I expect you to die. I realized that there's no fucking way I'm going in there again. Because, I mean, the shelves are lying, I did line them kind of neatly at the side. But so I do is that I start carrying these heavy-ass buckets in there, one by one, until the entire floor and the shelves are still up are just filled with buckets, filled with whatever it was, pizza topping, ice cream, and jam, and other things. Like I said, I didn't open all the... What was the name? Caps. I didn't open all the caps. This is embarrassing. I'm supposed to be good at English. I didn't open all the caps to like see what's inside, but... And then I, as I got home, and I told my mom about this story, she said, oh, you should, and no, actually, I told her about the story, and she said, and I said, well, I don't know if I should tell my boss that I was working overtime, because I got paid by the hour, right? And she said, you have to tell your boss you were working overtime, because you were not only working overtime, you were working overtime risking your life, and you're worth the extra hour pay for risking your life. So, that's the story. I did get paid for 1 extra hour, and I was so sore the day after, because you have to understand, I was pushing, like the Reaper was chasing after me. He was in the freezer with me, just waiting with the scythe, and I had to get this fucking... I had to get this wagon out of there so that I wouldn't die. Oh god. I hope you enjoyed. That was the story. See you guys on Monday. It's been a good week. I'm streaming as this goes live, so hop on over if you want. I'll see y'all next time, okay? Adios. Peace.